Hi. Hello, everyone. Hello, Kevin Nugan. Hi. Hello, your girl, Macy. How's everyone doing this Sunday? Today is Sunday, October 20th, 2024. It's 6:40 p.m. where I am. Sorry for the late start. I'm trying to get this live in before it gets dark. You guys know. So today's topic is, have you been, have you experienced narcissistic abuse? Like, have you had to experience a narcissist in your life? Let's get a definition in there for some of you who don't know what a narcissist is, or what kind of person is a narcissist. You know what? Let me go to narcissistic personality disorder. I'll go. Let me do a quick definition of narcissist, but I'm also gonna give you the definition for narcissistic personality disorder. YSE Mara 95 says, hi, why is your username Why Are Humans Like This? Because I like to ask questions about why people behave the way they do. And well, that's an animal. And my channel is about survivors, people who have survived trauma. So I like to ask why, not to excuse any behaviors, but just to get a better understanding. All right, so a narcissist is someone who is extremely self-centered, has an exaggerated sense of self-importance, and is overly concerned with their own interest. Let me do a better definition. Narcissistic abuse. Okay, so what is considered narcissistic abuse? Let's go to all of it. Okay, so I'm reading something from the hotline.org. That's from the National Domestic Violence website. So, yeah, National Domestic Violence Hotline. It says, Narcissism and Abuse by Caroline, a hotline advocate. Hi, Mike Hawk. Why are humans like this? So we're trying to answer some questions today. Today's topic is, have you experienced an abuse from a narcissist? Abil 2 is showing trees and somebody running. Hello, Abil. Where are you and how are you? All right, so narcissism and abuse. Trying to find an explanation for an abusive partner's behavior can be an exhausting task. It is natural to want to understand how someone we care deeply about, who says they care for us, is capable of saying and doing things to us that are hurtful or even dangerous. Okay, you're in Algeria. That's cool. Yes, magic hat. Additionally, the sheer amount of articles and opinions on abusive behaviors can become overwhelming. Terms like narcissistic, antisocial, sociopath, or borderline personality disorder often come up in that search for answers. Many of these labels are used loosely in the media we read and watch, and here are the lines we hear a lot. I think my partner is a narcissist. Narcissist is one of the more common terms we hear from callers and chatters about their abusive partners. This word is most often used to describe a person who is egotistic or self-serving and does not acknowledge the feelings of others. It is important to remember that narcissistic characteristics can show up to varying degrees in any person, but this is not necessarily an indicator that a person is dealing with a personality disorder. A person who has narcissistic personality disorder, as described in the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, also called the DSM, shows extreme, rigid, consistent expressions of narcissism, including expectations of superior treatment from others, Fixations on fantasies of power, success, intelligence, attractiveness, a belief that they are unique, superior, and associated with high status people in institutions, needing constant admiration from others, a sense of entitlement to special treatment and to obedience from others, exploitation of others to achieve personal gain, and unwillingness to emphasize or empathize with others' feelings, wishes, or needs, intense jealousy of others, and the belief that others are equally jealous of them, pompous and arrogant. All right, so that was like a really small clip, but I have experienced narcissistic abuse in my life. And I honestly did not know what a narcissist was until I want to go with like maybe 2012 or 2013, because I was just baffled by the treatment I was getting from my first child's father. I was really confused, like, why was he like that? Why was he so, I can't even explain it, just crazy. And somebody was like, you should look up narcissism. And I looked it up and I was like, oh my gosh, bingo. Like, it opened up my whole mind to something that I never even knew about, nothing. It's, like, I never truly knew that term and that treatment. But later on, I realized that I was also raised by a narcissist. So when you are raised by or grew up around someone who's a narcissist, you end up choosing partners that resemble your parent or in the household that you grew up in. Whoever your caretaker was, and if they were a narcissist, it's a high chance that you will end up picking a partner like your parent, because it's like you're familiar with that, even if the abuse is, even if it's abuse, it's just you're familiar with that. It's weird, right? It's weird that you will be attracted or drawn to a narcissist, and it's not done on purpose. But narcissists, they tend to know. It's like they pick up on you. They sense you. It's like they could smell you and sniff you out. And if anybody can relate, leave a like or leave a comment. It's really important to know the red flags of a narcissist so you can avoid them. It's one of the worst experiences in life. It's probably the worst experience in my life. It's not the most, but it's one of the most experiences. It's one of the least pleasant experiences I've had with like a person or a personality in my life. I wouldn't wish this on anyone because I have to co-parent with someone who has a narcissistic personality disorder. Obviously, I cannot diagnose anyone, but I would bet money on it. I would bet money based on the experiences I've had with the person and their traits and everything. Abraham Lincoln says, "What am I currently witnessing?" You're just watching the scenery, and I'm talking about narcissism. Let me see. I'm going to look up narcissist red flags. It's very important that people are educated. It's very important that if you experienced trauma as a child, it's very important that you recognize what a narcissist is. It's important that you know the red flags. You do not want to be friends with a narcissist. You don't want to be in a relationship with a narcissist. Like, run away from people like that. It's not a healthy person. So let me give you some red flags of narcissists, okay? This is all from Google, and I will, I'm probably not going to put a link in because I can't think of it. You could just simply Google narcissist red flags, okay? So I'm going to read some to you. So here are some red flags. Hold on, let me drink some water. I'm a little bit parched. A little bit. Oh, look at the bunny. Can you guys see the bunny? It's right there. The bunny is right there. Right there. There's the bunny. Right there with the water cap is. Hold on, everyone. I'm forgetting something. I'll be right back, and I'm going to read this red flag list, okay? This is something I definitely could have put in a video, but going live is so much easier. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Wolf Frost, hello. So I want to give it like a quick disclaimer. I am not a mental health therapist or counselor. I don't hold any medical degrees, so it's best that you do educate yourself about narcissism. What I read to you will definitely be from Google. You can definitely go ahead and educate yourself. I'm not an expert. I just try to discuss topics that are near and dear to me, things that I experience or have experienced. So don't take my word for it. Do your own research. But this is my experience, and I wouldn't tell you anything that I don't know about. All right, so narcissist red flags. Everyone should teach this to their children. It's very important to know. Here are some red flags that someone might have narcissistic personality disorder. So in my opinion, anybody like that, you should just not be cool with them. They're not healthy people. They need help. All right, lack of empathy. Narcissists often have difficulty understanding or caring about the feelings of others. They might dismiss your feelings, show little compassion, or seem indifferent to the emotions of others. Gaslighting. Narcissists may use manipulation and emotional abuse to distort your reality. They might lie, falsely accuse others, or spin the truth. Sense of entitlement. Narcissists have a grandiose sense of self-importance and a sense of entitlement. Exploitative. Narcissists might view others as objects to be manipulated to their advantage. They might usurp special privileges and extra resources to further their own interests. Envy. Narcissists might be preoccupied with envy, especially of people who have wealth, status, or accolades that the narcissists crave. Manipulative. Narcissists might use subtle threats to make you do what they want. You might feel like something bad will happen if you disagree with them or do something they don't want. Other red flags. Narcissists might also be easily influenced by others, have difficulty maintaining long-term relationships, act irresponsibly, lack guilt, and have feelings of emptiness. Okay? If you see any of those signs in anyone you are trying to get to know on a romantic level or even just a friendship level, I highly recommend you run for the hills, okay? They're not a safe person, and it's not a good situation for you. I honestly wish I knew this stuff, but because of the trauma that I experienced as a child, it was like almost unavoidable that I would bump into someone who was a narcissist. Like I said, I was raised by someone who I believe is a narcissist, who had traits of them. So it just made sense. Unfortunately, I had to learn the hard way what narcissism was. I was already like, with child when I realized, or after the child was born. I think my child was almost either 2 years old or almost 2 years old, very young, when I realized that my ex is a narcissist. And by then it's too late. So it's just best to know the red flags before you get into a situation where you are, you're in a relationship with them, you marry them, or you have a child with them. At that point, it's harder for you to leave. So you guys can leave a comment. Let me know, do you know what narcissism is? Have you experienced it? Did you grow up with it? What do you know about narcissism? I just feel like there needs to be some type of like real education done on it. And I know that when you hear nowadays, people do mention narcissists a lot, and then you'll hear other people say, oh, that word is being used too loosely, just thrown around. Yes, not everyone is a narcissist. Some people just have like some traits, but there are true narcissists out there. And I hate that people want to say things like, oh, you guys are overusing it. No, to me, that's a way to dismiss people who have had real bad experience with someone who had narcissism. It's a real situation. There are people out there with that. So yes, it might be used loosely for some situations, but you can't ignore the fact that there are people out there like that. I want to do like a real in-depth video about it one day, but for now I just want to like give a sample of it, from my experience. Like I said, when you come from a place of trauma, you run into red flags. Instead of running away from red flags, you run into them. So I ran into a narcissist. And for me, the beginning it was like, oh my goodness, this person is so great. And, it was they were like mirroring or modeling what they thought I would want to hear. The whole love bombing thing you guys heard about. Let me go ahead and give you the definition of love bomb. So I was love bombed by a narcissist. And by the time I realized what they truly were, it was too late. You know what I'm saying? Let me go ahead and read what love bomb is, because I feel like that term is used a lot and some people are not sure of it. So love bombing means the action or practice of lavishing someone with attention or affection, especially in order to influence or manipulate them. Okay? So anyone who has experienced a narcissist in your lives can definitely let you know that they were manipulated. It's a lot of manipulation. It's like they want you to see them for who they're not and not who they truly are. And some people be like, well, why did you get involved with them? Why did you do that? They didn't come out and say, I'm this kind of person in the beginning. They kind of trick you and use their little, their little manipulations on you. Like, oh yeah, I'm this guy that you want. I'm so great. Oh yes. Oh yeah, you like pickles. I love pickles too. Oh yeah, I want to get married one day. And all the things that you want, they basically, all the things you tell them that you want, they're going to tell you, yes, I want that too, and I'm going to give that to you. And then they don't actually come through. They just use all those tactics to get you wrapped up. All right, so what is love bombing? And this is from Health Essentials. It's from health.clevelandclinic.org. What is love bombing? I'm going to read this real quick, and then I'm going to end the live. I'm not going to be on here too long, you all. It's late, and it's getting dark. What is love bombing? This form of psychological and emotional abuse is often disguised as excessive flattery. First comes love, then comes marriage. It's a familiar children's nursery rhyme for many, but in truth, there are several other stages that need to happen in order for a healthy relationship to thrive. Love is a complicated thing that takes time, investment, and work. So if your relationship is burning hot in the beginning, but something doesn't feel right, ask yourself, what's making you feel overwhelmed? Are you showered with the top gifts? Are you pressured to pick up the pace and make your relationship exclusive? Are you missing out on time with family and friends? Or does your partner get angry when you spend time with other people? If any of these ring true, you may be experiencing psychological and emotional abuse in the form of love bombing. Initially, you might feel safe, secure, and swept off your feet because grand gestures are a self-esteem boost and make you feel important and desired. I'm tongue-tied. Says psychologist Elena Tiani, PhD. But the love bomber's ultimate goal is not just to seek love, but to gain control. To gain control over someone. Over time, those grand gestures are an effort to manipulate you and make you feel indebted to and dependent on them. Dr. Tiani dives into the details of what makes love bombing so complicated and the signs you should look out for along the way. What is love bombing? Love bombing is a form of psychological and emotional abuse that involves a person going above and beyond for you in an effort to manipulate you into a relationship with them. It looks different for every person, but it usually involves some form of excessive flattery and praise, over-communication of their feelings for you, showering you with unwanted gifts, early and intense talks about your future together. Love bombing can happen intentionally or unintentionally. Although it's most often recognized by romantic partners, your family members and friends can love bomb you too. It's usually driven by a person's insecurities, inability to trust, and dependence on other people. Although anyone can do it, love bombing is most often associated with people who have an anxious or insecure attachment style or narcissistic personality disorder. People can also pick up on this behavior by learning it from their parents, like passive aggression, or from past abusive relationships. It can also be a side effect of unresolved childhood trauma, though this isn't always the case. I'm gonna read one more part and then I'll be done, you all. If you turn down advances from a person who's love bombing you, or they feel you're not responding to their needs, they might threaten or berate you, explains Dr. Tiani. They want that constant reassurance that they're loved and worthy, and this stems from their underlying insecurities. And while they spend the early days overextending themselves to win your favor, when the honeymoon phase ends and real life kicks in, a person who love bombs may resort to more manipulative tactics like gaslighting or domestic abuse in order to keep their partners around. Love bombing is a situation that can be hard to get out of because you may not know how genuine someone is until it's too late, says Dr. Tiani. Love bombing tends to occur in 3 phases. I'm not going to read all of it, but this is very important for you, everyone. If you're dating, or if you have children, to educate yourself and your children about narcissism and all the things that come with it, love bombing, etc. You don't want your child, or you don't want to get involved with that kind of situation. And if you're surviving a narcissist, my hat goes off to you. It's really hard, especially when you're co-parenting with them like I am. So like I said before, I have a parent who's a narcissist, and I also have to co-parent with one. And narcissists, they don't really co-parent. They really just, what's it called again? From my experience, it's not for the betterment of the child. It's to get back at you, to hurt you. It's not in the best interest of the child. You know what I'm trying to say? Instead of using communication in a way to have a better understanding for the child and better communication, is to be petty, is to undermine you, is to disrespect you. They want all the praises. They want you to be like, oh, thank you for everything, and please, and this and that. And they don't want you to assert yourself. They don't want you to stand up for yourself. You know, from my experience, when you try to stand up for yourself, they want to insult you and just be childish. I want to go more into detail about this, whether it's on live or a video, but if you know what I'm talking about, you definitely understand how hard it can be. It's a horrible situation for any child. That's why it's very important to educate yourself about narcissists before you have a child with someone, because not only are you going to be surviving a narcissist, your child has to live with that person every day. You know, it's horrible for a child. And the way the court system is set up, they don't care. From my experience, the court, the judges, the magistrates do not care that the other parent is a narcissist. They don't care that the other parent is very combative, very negative, very nasty, and they're not acting in the best interest of the child. The court doesn't care. As long as the person is breathing, they'll give them shared parenting. They'll give them joint custody. The court system does not care about, especially about mothers. It's like if you try to let the court know what you're dealing with the narcissist, they try to spin it as, oh, you're just trying to take the child away from the other parent. They see it as you doing something negative. Well, you're trying to save your child. You're trying to help your child. You know what I'm trying to say? Like I said before, the court system does not care about children. It's about money and whatever else it is. It's a very nasty situation. And I wouldn't wish what I go through on anybody. It's not healthy. It's not right. And you do need to have counseling and some type of therapy. You cannot get through life with a narcissist on your own. You need professional help. And once you have learned the tactics of narcissists, once you have learned a narcissist, they can't get to you anymore. You have to pretty much gray rock them. I'm going to read one more thing and I'm going to leave. Gray rock is very important. So if you are co-parents with a narcissist, or you know a narcissist, you have to deal with them, gray rock them, okay? It's very important. You don't want to give them anything. They love to feed off of you. So you can't give them, starve them out. You have to starve a narcissist. Let me go ahead and read what gray rock is, and then I'll get off live, okay? Gray rock, GRAROCK, gray rock. The gray rock method is a technique used to protect oneself from abuse by making oneself as uninteresting as possible to the abusive person. The goal is to disengage without ending contact. Here are some ways to use the gray rock method. Be neutral. Remain calm, cool, and collected in your responses. Limit contact. Minimize contact with the abusive person. You can do this by blocking them, putting up an away message, or waiting to respond. Avoid eye contact. Limit eye contact with the abusive person. Keep responses brief. Limit your responses to yes and no, or use canned responses. Hide your feelings. Avoid revealing personal information. Be busy. Make yourself too busy with tasks and appointments to spend time with the abusive person. The gray rock method can be used in a variety of situations, including with family members, co-workers, classmates, or romantic partners. It can help de-escalate conflict by denying manipulative individuals the emotional reactions they seek. To maintain your inner calm, you can practice self-care after engaging with the gray rock method. You can do this by engaging in stress reduction activities, confiding in a trusted friend or therapist, or going for a walk. This is very important. I had to learn all of that, y'all, the hard way. In the beginning, I did not realize what I was getting myself into, and I had to learn the gray rock method, and it's really great. It's like the best way to interact with a narcissist. So I'll go into it more in another live or video with my personal experience. But thank you so much if you joined the live. Please like it. And I'll see y'all in another video. It's really dark now, okay? Hope you enjoyed the video. I will try my best to remember to leave the links in the video description if anybody want to research. But just go ahead and Google all the terms I mentioned. Google is free. Google is there. Educate yourself. Don't take my word for it. Google, Google, Google. All right. Hope everyone has a good night. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much.